Yo guys, what's up? It's XRAYZ. Welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II best class setup video. Now in this one we're actually going to be talking about the bar, which is quite possibly still one of the best weapons in Call of Duty World War II, but it does have a little bit of a drawback. They did nerf it recently, which does kind of suck, but let's go ahead and talk about the differences of this weapon, how to make it a ton better. It's already good. Had to get nerfed, so it's a little bit worse, but now I'm going to show you guys what you guys can do to make this thing absolutely shred. So let's go ahead and jump into this best class setup, guys. If you guys do find the video helpful and informative, make sure you guys do drop a like on the video. It does help out very much. And if you are new to the channel, if you want to see more content like this, obviously make sure that you subscribe. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this class setup. And I'm going to be showing you guys clips throughout the video, showing you guys why I'm doing this kind of stuff in the firing range, so hopefully that does help out and gives you guys a little bit of a visual representation of why I'm doing these different things. So first of all, let's go ahead and talk about the division you want to use. Now I found myself more and more gravitating towards the mountain division. The reason you want to do this is because everyone else and their moms and their grandpas is using the mountain division. And for you guys that don't know, I even made a video a couple of days ago where I talked about the mountain division and how it is the hidden gem, or I should say maybe even the most OP division in Call of Duty World War II. It gives you silent footsteps, and on top of that you are protected from UAVs. They can't see you, and all score streaks cannot see you either, which is absolutely insane. Mostly the reason I'm saying this is because everyone else is running this division as well, and you don't want to be at a disadvantage. If you're walking around with some loud ass footsteps, they're going to be catching you on. So if you want to level the playing field a little bit, and I can't stress enough how many ghillie suits I'm seeing in Call of Duty World War II now from people using regular guns, I would highly recommend you guys use the mountain division. As for basic training, there are a couple of suggestions. The number one suggestion I give you guys is going to be the primed perk. It gives you a couple of really awesome benefits. Number one, you get an extra attachment, so you get to go from 2 to 3 attachments on your bar, which is awesome. And then the second perk of it is that it actually allows you to have much less flinch when you're getting shot at. And you guys, again, this is one of those where it gives you a pretty big advantage. Believe me, when you're shooting someone and they're shooting back, if you're able to maintain your aim a whole lot better, then you're going to win way more gunfights. So I highly recommend this. If you don't want to use that, if you don't really care about that, then I would recommend maybe like Lookout or Espionage is another really awesome one. But Primed, I think, is going to be the one that a lot of us are going to be using, especially if you're getting into a lot of gunfights. So definitely recommend Primed. Alright, so with those two out of the way, let's really get into it with this bar. Now, the bar has a couple of drawbacks. The first one being that it does have a really small magazine. This is actually pretty visual to both of you guys. You've probably seen this when you're using the bar. 20 rounds in a magazine is pretty low for an assault rifle, and it's always been around that 30 mark. So you really want to improve on that by adding extended mags. Now this will actually bump it up from 20, and it makes it pretty decent. So it's definitely a attachment you want to toss on there. Depending on what mode you're playing, it's probably going to be more or less important. If you're going to be in a mode where you're constantly reloading, then I would highly recommend you have it. If you don't, if you're kind of going to be chilling a little bit, have enough time to reload like S and D, then you don't really have to worry about it. But if you're going to be playing regular modes, then highly recommend that. The second attachment I'm going to be using on here is going to be the grip attachment. Now, you guys can see some firing range tests here, but it is pretty accurate. But you guys can see here, when I was actually shooting, I made sure to just hold down the trigger. I did not adjust the recoil at all, so you guys can see it does have pretty wild recoil. It's pretty manageable. Like, it's definitely not horrible like some of the other weapons in the game, but it's definitely, you guys can see it does have a lot of side-to-side movement. And when you toss on the grip attachment, it just makes it a lot more controlled and easier to use. Especially if you're going to be using this guy in medium to long range gunfights, then I would highly recommend the grip attachment. And then the final attachment is going to be the biggest one in my opinion. It's what's going to make this weapon go from good to great, and it's going to be the rapid fire attachment. Now for you guys that didn't know, in the latest nerf to the bar, it actually made it so that it shot a lot less. Now, it's not super drastic. From what I understand from what other people were saying, it was about a 7.5% drop in the rate of fire. You might feel like there's not much of a difference if you toss on rapid fire, but you guys can see from the clips that I have here that it is a pretty significant drop off. You can tell just visually that with rapid fire it bumps up way much more, and it definitely makes up for that drop in the nerf. So if you want to counteract that nerf, I would highly recommend rapid fire. Believe me, you're going to be shredding people, and it doesn't even mess the aim, which is actually pretty cool. The recoil is not drastically changed, which is pretty awesome. Now as for your secondary, you have a couple of options here. You can use a pistol if you want with the quick draw attachment on it. You don't really have to. I have been kind of trying out the shovel as my secondary now to try to get more, you know, panic shot kills. So definitely give that a try if you want. But that's pretty much it for the entire class setup, guys. The bar is an awesome weapon, does a lot of damage, has a few drawbacks like it did get recently nerfed and it does have a low amount of rounds per magazine. You can counteract both of those with this class setup. If you guys have any suggestions for this weapon and what you guys have been using, drop it down in the comment section below. Hopefully it helps out some more of the viewers. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully this was informative and helpful to some of you guys. If it was, please do me the huge favor of dropping a like on the video. I would be incredibly grateful if you guys could do that. It shares it helps me out immensely. If you are new to the channel, first video you're watching, if you enjoyed this class setup, I'm going to have a lot more on the channel along with more informative videos coming. So if you guys want to stay up to date with that, make sure you guys do subscribe and you turn on notifications by hitting that little bell icon next to the sub button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter, best place to talk. And if you want to, I do have also a second and gaming channel. Links down below as well. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.